just having flexible deadlines and also giving the kids the ability to do the work on the road. I mean, I think that's obviously the biggest one. Especially, I know in this area, the kids that go to normal schools can't make a lot of the same trips that the other kids do. Say, for instance, the Easter Bowl would be a good example. A lot of kids that train here but go to a really tough private school, say in the Washington, D.C. area, for them to go and tell that school, hey, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, because we usually do, there's a warm-up tournament before the Easter Bowl called the International Spring Championships. And we feel as coaches that you need to be able to play both of those to really give yourself the best chance to, because you're going out to California and you need to get used to the weather and the climate and the courts and all of these good things. So so that would be a good, for instance, in my mind, of where most kids that unless you're doing a school like Laurel Springs, you're not going to be able to make that trip, so you miss that. And that's just one example. Another example would be trying to play the ITF circuit. We've had kids before that I just don't think you can really manage that with a normal school. You kind of have to have that flexibility to be able to go on the road and turn your assignments in or take your tests online and do it as you're on the road and just going about. So I think that's, from my perspective, where I've seen that the kids are able to still keep it going. Definitely you see it when they go to college. I think that the kids that have done the Laurel Springs model and then go to a very competitive, like a high-level Division I institution, you see that the kids are more prepared and are able to, I don't know how to say it, but it's a smoother transition into that model, because essentially that is what the kids are doing at these top-level NCAA institutions. They're spending a lot of time on the road. They're not in the classroom as much as, say, some of the other student athletes. So with that, I think the kids are a little more used to having to do that on a regular basis. Turning tests in when they come back and doing some assignments on the road, being away from a class for 2 weeks and having to be able to do it on their own. So they're doing this now while they're with us when they're 14, 15, 16. By the time they go to college, they're used to it, and it's not as much of a transition.